What's up, trading gang, retail family, and all that? Cha-ching, cha-ching. Happy Sunday to you. This is going to be a very nice video for you, and I'll show you why. On last week, we had the Feds come out and do their announcement, and it appears that they're temporarily going to leave the interest rates alone. As a result of that, you've seen the markets crash as far as the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the US 30. And I'll show you a chart of that in just a moment so you guys can see what actually happened. But the markets crashed and so forth and so forth. Okay, so the good news for us as retail traders is that at least this week, and again, please do your own homework. Don't ever just 100% depend on what I'm sharing. I'm just doing this because I know in the retail space, most retail traders, we never take a look at the news events that impact news. But we suffer the consequences because you jump into trades way too early, and then the news event comes out because you didn't check the fundamentals for taking the news before taking the trade, and as a result, you get your account blown up. But I'm going to show you what I'm taking a look at this week so that you guys can, at least have some semblance of an idea. Okay, here's what Uncle P be looking at. Okay. But this week, there is still some news events coming out, but it's not going to be as turbulent as it was last week. So let's go to the charts and let's get started. Okay, as you guys can see, I'm going to use our new ocean wave trading system. And the reason why is because this thing calls news events like nobody's business. It's one of the best systems we ever developed, especially if you're trading news events. It's kind of like almost perfection how well it calls the news events and stuff like that. So we're looking at the NASDAQ 100. The NDX, it depends on what your broker is. On ACAP, they call it the NDX 100. On others, they have NAS 100 or NAS whatever. But I'm just going to show you what it showed. So here you can clearly see that when it broke, let me hit Control Y, and that's going to bring up our day separators. So this was Friday. This was Thursday, Tuesday, Monday. So basically going into Monday, this thing called it days in advance. You see it went sideways for a little bit, waiting for the news event, and then boom, you had the news, and it just dropped. Okay, and that is the NAS. Here's the S&P 500, which actually followed the same suit, and here's the US 30. Okay, which by the way, news came out, market retraced back up. And then it got prepared and said, nope, don't go for the okie doke. Everybody who was buying, thinking that the market sell-off was over, they bought back in and they held their trade way too long, thinking it was going to go to the moon. And look what happened. The ocean wave system called it and said, nope, it's coming back down. And sure enough, this thing dropped off the map and kept on going. So the point is that these news events, we really have to pay attention to news, because oftentimes these news events are what is the catapult to price action. A lot of you guys are trading price action and price action patterns, support and resistance, supply and demand zones, and you never check news. So by the time you actually take the trade, hours later, it goes way against you and you don't even know why. So from here on out, if you hear nothing else and learn nothing more from me, always check news right before you take a trade, just to be on the safe side. This same exact thing happened with the JPY. If you watch my Sunday video from last week, you see I told you that the JPY was coming out with its interest rate news. And for those who took trades, if you were wrong, you at least know why now. Okay, because what happened is the interest rates came out on a lot of pairs last week, but using this as an example, on the JPY, it did a sharp market move on the JPY pairs simply because of that one news event. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at for this coming week. These are the main ones that I look at, but it doesn't mean that the others are not important. They can move the markets, but these are the main ones that I always look for, which is why I have for myself that I prefer not to trade during them. Or if I do, I'm going to use the ocean wave system, which by the way is the newest one we released. Okay, but for news, and then I'll get into the signals as well. So here's the deal. For on the AUD pairs, the CPI numbers, which is Consumer Price Index, that's our personal inflation report, is coming out on the AUD. I don't expect a lot of turbulence on this, but I just put it there just in case. Then you have the euro, which is the coming out with their PMI numbers. Okay, So then you have the US dollar coming out with the durable goods. This typically affects, in my opinion, the US stock market more than it does the currency market, but just in case there's a little jolt in the market, you'll know why. Now, the main one that I do want to pay attention to is going to be these three. And let me highlight these in red. Okay. Those are going to be the main three, starting on Thursday and Friday. So personally, in my opinion, it's pretty much smooth selling going up until Thursday. Okay. So on Thursday, you got the euro coming out with what? Look at here, CPI numbers and inflation. See, both of those are on my hot list. So that is, and there's a lot of euros. Check the MyFX book or whatever you use. I like MyFX book. But when you check MyFX book on Thursday, you'll see there's a lot of red coming out throughout the day on the euros. Let me bring this over so you guys can see this on screen as well. It's pretty concerning. See, look at all this red. And this is Thursday. All this red is coming out, high news events. And that's because you're talking about the euro zone. And the euro, in the euro, they have different zones. So it's not just one euro place. Okay. It's called the euro zone. So you got all these little sectors releasing news. So it's just like many firecrackers popping off everywhere, you know, and I just don't feel safe. So I may shy away. We'll see how that goes. Okay. And then you have Fed Chairman Powell coming out and talking. Okay. And that's concerning. Fed Chairman Powell. They've already released the Fed news events, but he could say anything that may shake up the markets. We don't know. So that's on Thursday. So just be careful. And then on Friday, you have the euro coming back out with more firecrackers on Friday. See, more news. Okay. So they're coming out with more news. See all these little reds? These are in the Eurozone. See all that? Okay. Y'all see that? All right. So I'm just telling you, check your news calendar. And if you want signals, because they've still been just doing an overwhelmingly good job of calling out signals in the signals group. That's Mr. Elvis and Miss Jenny. If you want to join and you're just tired of trading, sometimes you just get tired of trading. Hey, I just want to make money. Tired of trading, tired of strategies, tired of trading systems. I just want to deal with somebody who's consistently on a win streak. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't lose trades, which, by the way, there were some losses, a couple of losses this week. Why? Because there was such turbulent news last week in the markets, and that's normal. But consistently, and you can always check our record here, just click on this tab to see the results of what we've been doing. And we've been tracking this since January 1st of this year. So you can see up until the 1st of this year, all the way until now, which is in September, you can see exactly how well we've been performing week after week after week. So if you want to join, just click right here on the Join Advanced Group. So you'll go to our main website, superezforex.com. You'll click on this tab here, and it'll take you to this page. You'll sign up here, and then when you get done, just simply click on the login. Plus, here's the blessing. You're not just getting signals, but then you'll have access to Miss Jenny's live trade session, which is twice a week. Okay, so you not only get signals, but then you'll also be able to attend a live session twice a week. And they still have the $1,000 contest going on, the $1,000 giveaway contest going on with Miss Jenny, so you can talk directly to her about it. And you're going to get her trading system. And I have thrown in an extra bonus indicator, which I have been using for years, called the Daily Dot. That is free to you for your use. And so you're going to get signals, live trade sessions, a bonus trading system, and a bonus indicator. All that's included. Okay, all that's included. And once you go through the tutorials, it'll be all explained to you. You'll have the links in there to each of the private Telegram groups and everything. Everything is included. Okay, so it's just pennies on the dollar because one trade can pay for a monthly subscription. I know some services they're charging $200 a month or whatever, and for all of that we're offering, it's only just a cheap $69 a month. Okay, so that's nothing. You can make that on one trade. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off, and I will see you in the next video.